ewo eye Ashalubutwe school junction no sabre de eja atomu a enya sem keto edan no ahye ankasa ma otimu say we de reho because amanfo chema they've been there, they've booked the place. Omo used to put social media for more sentiment na there omo dey ba dey say binumo I experience it that particular building ne penya ene around 5 a.m. and beto just say eja atomu a fire service for akwakopie mu ho no mo nso ehwe de omo betimi aye e de aboa ama eja no omo timi abre ano ase. Now there is a video popping up with regards to a fire ya ato Angel Obinim ni apartment no emu no ye be koni akwa akohwe video no abusian ye ba ensem ne de do so yi pa ye de ebema mo
jawi e ba ye sa akofa ro ko sem aba ye amope ensisi oni nyina ne se o se ebo ye amopa no online ade ye be che no pe ya ene mu hu se aha e ja kwa wo so opie be 448 opie be gina bonten so wo opie ka we want your friends so we do by 5 no mo eku ka no e be pray firefighters no eso mo mra no mo hwe de e ko so ha yi ne dan ya wo ti me ja to mu a e so entempai nia no madina ebo modin ebepie mu wa ha omuti ebae omedu adenta bae no mu se jana no odi ntomo to nsa de frɛ madina omo frɛ ye nuanom nso omuwo legon so mo meka ho no muntimi emfam fight nti sabra mi ka sɛ de ye wo Ashalubutwe ye Reverend Obinim ni fie wo ha no mo an ye wo asadri ye bɔ modin etimi de adum eja no jawi e ba ye sa akofa ro ko sem aba ye amope ensisi oni nyina ne se o se ebo ye amopa no online ade ye be che no pe ya ene mu hu se aha e ja kwa wo so opie be 448 opie be gina bonten so wo opie ka we want your friends so we do by 5 no mo eku ka no e be pray firefighters no eso mo mra no mo hwe de e ko so ha ne dan ya wo ti me ja to mu a e so entempai nuanom madina ebo modin ebepie mu wa ha omuti ebae omedu adenta bae no mu se jana no odi ntomo to nsa de frɛ madina omo frɛ ye nuanom nso omuwo legon so mo meka ho no muntimi emfam fight nti sabra mi ka sɛ de ye wo Ashalubutwe ye Reverend Obinim ni fie wo ha no mo an ye wo asadri ye bɔ modin etimi de adum eja no
Abusian fire service personnel and who say womo she say umbetimi edum jano ato eye angel Obinim ne building no emu. There are a lot of questions among for ebusa with regards to danya eja atomuno, and most of the questions among for ebusa say na sorry dying and I said then because we know Obinim to be osofo no osofo de eja she na say nye ufie ya and a bear was sorry dying. So a month for besam what particular building and a belonging to Obinima ama eja atominya ba Rita Ewa Hashi has more details on this issue. Rita, we are hearing of ejaya ato Obinim a building nifie na sorry, and I said what kind of a building is it?
All right, so around 4 to 5 a.m. na yete se BBC ato Bishop Daniel Obinim Angel Sanso Canadian ho man of God for International God's Way Church, and most often when fire outbreak says here normally causes bebre or honoma, people would be thinking say Emma sa ejashishe we see me assure say in the coming days we'll be hearing more of the cause of this particular fire outbreak.
So na sorry dining eja mana.
Yes, in the apartment, some to say guest house and all that.
Okay, so ebusia uti ensem wa ekoso ne dia na chese apartment no na yes eja so on your screens that is the top the floor the top floor no the hona eja no ehase di efri ya utimu say the detriment of the fire outbreak no it's very very crucial amount for chem say quite unfortunate say weekend dia na ehun say ne yere Florence Obinim was all over the news after say o make her appearance United Showbiz Jumedie so onu nsuko sunye say she's been through a lot and all that. And ultimately say I say we entered the week with Florence Obinim appearing on United Showbiz a man for can huasem only for us to wake up and pay say Obinim apartments are we see ewoye Ashaleboche school junction no eja atomu ama sebe ehase free so a utimu se eja no ano odini ye pa fire service phone so ekopie mu ewo hobi. So far what has been the reactions of Ghanaians towards nsemiesi?
So a number of people are very are feeling bad about it because regardless of whatever, Obinim is a man of God that has a number of following. I feel so that's what I can say. So obviously people will be sad about it, but I think a number of people are also waiting for the cause of this particular fire outbreak.
Okay, so as it stands now, from what Yenuaba no na ejano chese adie poti enam so Emma ejano shase no sabre de ye train the intel from the fire service ejumeko no ama yebehu de ekoso anase de nam so a Emma eja hihye we ebaye. So right now we are still monitoring issues the eba ne say ejane de omatimi abra no ase because share time ejane shase that's from about a year 5 a.m. thereabout now. Not just say ejana no etimi abra. Has Angel Obinim come out to make any statement based on what we are hearing?
So far, he has not really come out to say something yet, but we see people talking about it on the social media and showing concerns about it and what exactly caused this fire outbreak.
Okay, busia we are still hopeful say osofo Penny Angel Obinim obetimi aba bonten na waba ascertain the truth about where the building really been for him or not. Ni nyina no yeguso ayewa atwen yemu a ye hwe maybe a eno nso ebeko akwakodru. So that is all about Angel Obinim nensemo a ekoso with the building. We are still monitoring this case closely. Yebema mo update ewo ho. Now yebe free Angel Obinim ensemwe so na ebusia ye moving on to other issues
buy sa akofaro ko sem aba amopay nsisi oni nyina ne say say ebo anopa no 9 ade be che no pay a ene mu hi say aha eja to a wo so opie be 448 opie be gina bonten so wo opie car we want your friends so we by 5 no two car no ebe pray firefighters no eso omomra no momhwe de ekoso hali me dan ya woti meja to mu a ehye entempai nia no madina ebo modin ebepie mu wa ha omuti ebae omedu adenta bae no mu se jana no odi ntomo tun sa de frɛ madina omo frɛ ye nuanom nso omuwo Legon so mo meka ho no muntimi emfa fight fire nti sabra me ka say de ye wo asalubutwe ye Reverend Obinim ni fie wo ha no mo an ye wo asabre ye bo modern etimi e de adum eja no.
Ebusia na eno ene nsemo a yaba betodwa efa Angel Obinim ne dan no ehu. Now ye movie efri nsem we so na yakopie mu wonsem foforo so a abrante a na nsen ya odi ne birthday Richard ni Amakwe yehu se wochiche gold bars ni ade na chese say de wono eka one of the millionaires and billionaires our more Ghana hanum say unfortunately 16 years of his marriage to Madam Joanna Kwe it has come to an abrupt end. Sabre de me no ka say ehun sem bebre aba beto social media no eso and de yare ho enisasem no divorce proceedings na kwa kopie mu court ama me no ka say court ama the final verdict e wa asem ne ho a kamia say two parties no intiase enhye da enye adwuma e wo ho. Now obebusa say na da ben na Richard Niamakwe ware ye na da ben na oko divorce muni ade there is a whole lot of issues efasa ensem we ho and we have more details on it. Now Minya Barita e wa hanum say so we are hearing that Richard Niamakwe they say na warrior of 16 years no abewie but unfortunately asem na kopie mu e wo court. What is the court saying about this issue?
Okay, so Richard Niamakwe obi a yenyina yenim no pa oye millionaire billionaire and then all that asem when kopie court and they've been married for 16 years, I mean since 2010. Okay. And what the court is saying about it is that there is a fine leveled against him of 300,000 Ghana cedis, and he's supposed to pay that. Apparently, the wife expects more than that. He explains that she's been committed to the marriage, to their business, and all that. So for her, he's supposed to pay 50 million Ghana cedis. Okay. So far, that's what the court has said. The court has also said, wiki be was say oma ne yurene nembami sano 5,000 cedis. Okay. Afi so we the car too. So far, that's what we are hearing.
Okay, so ebusiafo na chese business mugu Richard ni Amakwe wone ne yere Joanna Kwe wo ma ware a abewie no ekopie mu wo court no na chese Justice Kofi Dogu a wotina asem no so no se de enu aba ne kan wo wa fine anase wo chese e wo se Richard ni Amakwe Emma Joanna Kwe 300,000 Ghana cedis a sa chemu anache say wo mo apartment a wo dansoma no so no 1/3 eko de ama Joanna and aside that no say de nuaba ne kan ye de cars mienu enso aka ho de ama no nanso ye kire mu a na che say Joanna enti ase say asem no at this point ye be man those small things nyama kitikiti we no mo de be man there wo jitu mu a enye yi enti wo de asem na kwa akodan court of appeal me no ka say ye hwe ni mu say court of appeal betina nsem ne so na ya hwe say on be review the judgment judge de ama with regards to the divorce na nti yegu so ye hwe but then there are a lot of issues popping up after say Richard Niamakwe and the divorce issues we better mountain so section of Ghanaians utimu say omo di hu nkomo any ade what are Ghanaians saying about this whole divorce issue?
Okay, some Ghanaians think that Ghanaians be more who say courts ne oba ne ni kra because omu say Richard Niamakwe ye sikeni mapa na afi so Joanna Kwe I invested heavily into business na afi so on any train na ache I think somewhere 2000 and something crans and number worry in 2010. So a number of Ghanaians feel say court and in cry ebi mo so who say according to judge no or reduce amounts no to 3,000 Ghana cedis because he thinks that this is a way of speaking to Ghanaian women that marriage after marriage is not a bed of roses. And ya fe na oba be pray japade ho nti enu nti oni be ma nam na ana one no worry for some time. I was say me go aware and so that was the way the judge was trying to use to communicate to Ghanaian women.
Okay. Yeah. And from what Canadian not say money be supporting the lady says the sikano ne niema ye de mano no isha. And so it was say judge no etimi edi bi eka ho emano. But then Richard Niamakwe in question no in semben no so edi abetuja with regards to the divorce to Joanna Queen.
So far, the Yenshadante Bibin fee Richard Niamakwe ho, their courts na dia bet to Joanna Samre, the Chicha Mountain, Soma Ghana for Eka Ebia Fahon. Okay, so that means looking at in Semwa Ekosono na ye Abrantier Richard Niamakwe na warrior eguno and I cause a whole lot of traction with social media no and so just like Yenua Bane Kano. Bebre na when say judge no any Joanna Kwe ending ye looking at the fact that enche be democracy examples to the fact that enche be Richard Niamakwe dini birthday in March last year. Odi ni birthday no yehu the buoyant birthday party a Okoje Independence Square done everything again invited big people both Nigerians and other people from other countries be PMU as here and so what this year so wachiche gold bars near the for somebody that can give out gold bars now otia 50 million the amount a year. I mean it shouldn't be a big deal. It's something that say a year chicken change emano into judge should have been fair. A big question say because judge near bear mano and untina sebe or day a year takashini are there a really case in favor of Richard Niamakwe. Some are also of the notion say lady I invest a lot looking at the times they built together. We are hearing that my bills right now former quick credits they are partners together. Yes. So you say Richard Niamakwe and Ray Joan Kwe no, they are not just couples, they are business partners. Into first quick credit in Nima CCA bills microfinance no. They are into that business together. Okay.
It's nice that they all built it together. It was wow, we share some of the points that are coming out there, not just from all indication. They built something together. Into amount for even standing on the point say so munina ne bre no mo bills and I mean quick credit bills and today he's enjoying to the extent say we be a food bank near there feeding for free adenti enomuntimi and just something substantial Emma Joanna and also raise a lot of eyebrows any idea there are rumors that Richard Niamakwe in the year because of Hajia for real.
That's what people are saying, but until say be you bring some proof leveled against it, we can't really talk much about. But there are rumors in that area say Hajia for real intina Richard Niamakwe ending 16 years of marriage.
Okay, so we see these are some of the issues that are popping up with this whole Richard Niamakwe in divorce any other. Some people are even saying they never knew po say na wawari mpo up until because no munim say send a girlfriend ni Hajia for real allegedly until you betchi Hajia for real for romance scam ni ade okode mobile and all that. And Dusha, not just say some are even linking it to the fact that Richard Niamakwe onye scano and opese we see in the year into Ojine bisu say is because of the presence of Hajia for real when bomu any idea. But said these are some of rumors near there about out once your issues pops up, and we know that there is a very good friendship between Richard Niamakwe and Hajia for real. And no. And I'm a man for baby raising those kind of conversations about that. But right now, Mrs. I can say former Mrs. Kwe was say sentence na say the final verdict made by the judge or no dear own timingin to mumani enye. According to her, that is being unfair on her side. wa struggle, they went a long way. I mean, we share some of the pictures that were popping up on your screens, we said that is the old so we share maybe almost abrante and why feel because shenani mo hanum say na her na funi ade a odigina honom na utimu say God has done some onyamia ye bia ne otimi ye photo shoot my for birthday ni ade just look at Richard Nyama. Oh God, utimu say they've come a long way. So these are some of the factors and the year in age so I say almost when you listen to some of the background stories, they started way back outside the country. The lady had to come bring money. The first money the bobosia as quick credit edima will be no a lady way sika and no edesha bills and the year who so you could see say lady ni HMA on the on chin and found money kunuda dan one any be was so say whatever she duly deserves no ye beti me de amano so ebusia Richard Nyama kwe ni case ni dey say a court of appeal. And we are just hopeful say very soon no omo betina nsem no so na yehu baabi ansem no ebekọ akwa akodru enti yemfa Richard Nyama kwe ne nsem no ensi ewa hanum say na yenko ensem foforo so as it stands now ne dey it's been a whole lot. Amount for Bebre show you consensus and people are really getting interested in it because we are watching say you want to be a public figure. It comes with a whole lot of issues. People are so much interested in your case. They want to know where and how things are going and things are going to unfold. And na yamamu update now let's move on to other issues. And a couple of months we've been talking about Ghana. Yesana Henia or Bessin Koye Ofori-Atta, former finance minister. It's been in the news from Interpol red notice to letters going for his extradition back to Ghana. Near there back to back. We who say OSP era kisi jaben ne near bre Ofori-Atta ninsem way so but up till now no yensan kan Ofori-Atta say wa back room ha ene beto dwa say ice for detaining no isan say yesen nkrata ewu into what US illegal into wa first court session ni ade ye hwemu no omo embeli no na wo mosan no ebiem ediduntu mu na me ne wo kase ne lawyers for Eden Krata ba beto montin so awo mu say he has been released into on your screens no the press release free Minka Premo or say Bonsu Bruce Kathleen and partners for Eho. Into which I will say on April 7, 2026, Ofori-Atta was released from ICE detention pursuant to judicial order. He's home with his family. Mr. Ofori-Atta remains fully committed to use due process in defense of his rights as guaranteed under the Constitution and laws of the United States. He and his family remain thankful to God and all those who have offered prayers and support during this period. Signed, Justice Kusi Minka Primo, Esquire, Solicitor for Ofori-Atta, 8th April 2026. Enti, Sabri Amino Kasedi on your screens, just as you can see, you know, Ofori-Atta, Sabri de, womo you know, every ICE detention center, ye chemo anache say, wako ka nebusi ya fonsa. Enti Sabri de, ni case no, edaso ho. And yes, the case is still there, but then he has just been granted bail from the detention center. He's gone back to his home. The former house Kamala Harris, the former vice president, na ote of US, no ote hona say yechima wako fie DNS. We are hopeful say ho na wako akodru. So Ofori-Atta ninsem no ebusia say de womu no. Now eyes for I confirm me a website so say indeed he has been released after the letter started circulating on social media say you know near the idea no woman so about confirm me a website so now before we go to ICE for woman say more de ababe to jano Ghana for Bebre I mean are interested in Ofori-Atta ne detention no and the fact that they want to see him back extradited to Ghana. So far Rita we are here to say no what has been the government reaction, what has been the reactions of Ghanaians to the release no
Okay, so yeah, Ken Ofori-Atta issue since last year, a section of Ghanaians have been standing aloof, waiting for what exactly will happen to him. Ebimo trying say we'll just put him behind bars and then
Okay.
that will be it. But I think the process has been quite a long one. So if ICE is saying that they have released him, I'm sure Ghanaians are on the lookout to listen to what's Ghana as well, our authorities have got to say about this.
Okay.
So we are all on the lookout. We are waiting. But amidst all this issue, most often I am the I Mrs. Wana, they are made drink a crane say, but nebusian for mental health. I face one kasa as a person, the mental health no. How is it going to be like? Because if your father is Ken Ofori-Atta, I mean, when you go to school, you go to public spaces, and then just with the name, I mean, people will be looking at you in a different way. So I've just been particular about his mental health. So for now, as Ghanaians, we are just waiting to see what exactly would be happening to Ken Ofori-Atta.
Okay, so ebusia na chese so far no OSP or one of the people are all pack and Ofori-Atta ding Ghana Hanum say, and looking at it, it is clear say Ken Ofori-Atta amount for are losing hope. The Ghana government in bringing Ken Ofori-Atta back to Ghana because only pay my red interpol matro letter call US for say omum and find him back to Ghana. Still na Yewushi and ye better say ye detained. Now when we heard about he being detained ICE for Omo custody, one thing Ghanaians were so hopeful about is that say a year in Krata Semnia dear he will the Ombe back to Ghana, he will be exported back to Ghana because one thing we know about these foreign countries, particularly US now there, sebe time in the country in the na ubusu na yebeche odi ana chese straight up they are deporting you. But then Ken Ofori-Atta ebi mo chese odi sike rere mu ni ade na wenya lawyers momo ejine mo amano e na sese kra de wasenya bail, he's still living freely and still processing ne case no hwe nkrata the lawyers for ne de ba ya na chese they are talking about the fact that they are still following on issues and then he's still with nebusia for nti utimi say Ghana for bebre lucy hope say oh as baby ye dre there NDC are buying I mean team oral OSP there is nothing they can do to bring Ken Ofori-Atta back, and because of that they've started linking Ken Ofori-Atta's issue to Outbreak. Yes, because we share the course now amafo chem say why do we want Ofori-Atta extradited to Ghana so badly now? So US phone to me boy Emma Ofori-Atta Emma back to Ghana, but we are so happy going to extradite our own person Abutrika to the United States because Eban is saying Ghana for Obinim which is any yen someone for Ofori-Atta Emma there then Ghana government led by the National Democratic Congress they should not extradite Abutrika to the United States, and also a whole lot of issues. So just before we were briefing you on this issue, we're talking about the fact that ICE for Womonso Oma confirmed that Ofori-Atta has been released on a website. Now, so on your screen says former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta released from ICE detention. So can you please put ICE for omo websites there on the screens? That's what I'm talking about. Yes. And to na just not the letter alone. And confirm say Ofori-Atta yachino anase yachine na afe ye jaino. But then the ICE and Kasa Mobekaya when he was arrested, it was posted on their website. They showed it. MIA who say Oko US immigration website or who said that ho Ofori-Atta din wo ho baby a yechine to ye any other there ni na da ho. So as you can see on your screens or say Kenneth Nanaya Ofori-Atta country Ghana status in ICE custody, current detention faculty, which was a Carolina detention faculty. Now, Oko search bioma, as you can see on the other side, the search result is 0, meaning that right now he's no longer in their custody again. Utimi until we shall see Ofori-Atta's name no longer on US ICE detainee list. Nancy say ne he's a free man. Indeed, it looks like some Ghanaians are not really happy about the mere fact say Ofori-Atta the case ni yetimi and it's quite unfortunate. Ebi just say this shows that Ofori-Atta knows very well say Ghana for Shisheno and Sebi he's a culprit in a lot of scandals, about 76 scandals, and yaboni din ewo mo a OSP Shisheno. Ebi just say or said they all year hide and seek with Ghana no. It really shows that he's akwedo na ye de bono na say asem na ye de tono so no and say me ka say de tono so kra enzema ye pinpoint say ne ho bon mu bi no ebetimi aye no kre say ampa say ne ho bon mu. That is why he is trying to run away from coming to Ghana. Baby chemu say money is talking in this issue intina wetimi aye free wababe pie wenya ni freedom just like that Ghana mind way emu. So we are still on the issue. There are a lot of reactions and some people, and one person awabe reacted osaje for Oliver Bakavomo ono so be react ya na oche mu se watete say yejai Ofori-Atta. He wanted to know how true it is, or she say no cre and I say no cre media outlets in confirm, but just as we are seeing on eyes for omo website no so no it is. And this is the Twitter osaje for Oliver Bakavomo wo ebe make or say my US sources tells me that Ofori-Atta was released from custody yesterday. Perhaps our media houses can help confirm. Inti na say there Ofori-Atta is no longer in detention again. That is quite unfortunate, but yeah, sure, maybe who knows, be asem no enko in favor because the case is still in court. Inti any information be ebeba no ye de ho ensem ebeba bebomo. Now let's move on to nano arehosemo a ye de ho update eba ye efri Western North manto no emu ekro. Now just say it's quite sad. Abranti anidin ede kweku numatokpe se numatokpo chemo abranti edi 23 years abranti no eni wakoshe abusue bi ase because abusua ne se ye baba no yemfa no emawo I mean mo twempena ye nyintum na empena twen ye nyintum a ye hyedan emanipe wu ana enti ye den report ne ba ye na beto dwa se abaya no ene ne maame ene ne nua ba omo ene omfoni eda screens ne so no abrante edija akoto omo dan ne mu ama omo miensa nyina omo ahye ya mu to condemn omo awu ama na me no ka sei de ye de omo ayie no ahyehye so a ebusia na arehu yie papa ewe yie no ase ye beje bre na ya hwe se de yie no esifa ekoye ye ba ye beto ansem ne so de amamu. That is the burial ceremony womo ma mami ene ne mami enu ya bema krachi 23 years when you do baby when they were who said the timidi jato them because of a woman as she womo drebe amomu nyina atwana na no me wonsie do. The sad part is this guy is just a palm wine tapper and I just say wetimi anya akukudro e de eja koto obi ne ma emu ama o ma hwedwebe. Now there have been a lot of issues that popping up. Ebi chiremu say abrantie we no ne girl no e date for some time na chese wo mu ko street so na wo de motorbike ekonya akwanhia na eno na chese abrante ne yere a ye film after the accident omo hwehwe no mo ahu no the family was able to take care of the lady in question no for some time and recover ye or recover ye wie ya abrante na san ba say woni oba no san betoa ba bia where they ended the relationship no we must continue and abusuafo say he ne ha ye mpene so twen ho every baba no ho. And unfortunately, ono nso tie mu sese mo say mo bema mo mame ene mo ba na ntwempena de ende I will destroy people. Me de ejaba betu mu fie ni mu eno de eja betu mu a yehu arehosem. Now, there've been a lot of comments, a lot of conversations Ghanaians are showing on social media, particularly X. Utimu say a lot of people are so not pleasant and we shen sem ni bia bobo bana na say abrante no and the life na baby ya now how has it been on social media? What's the conversation? What are people saying?
It's such a sad story. Michelle Ayara Hosampa say Abrantia with 23 years.
Yeah.
So he can't think with his mind. He's just thinking with the heart. And as a palm tapa, say na obeti biama obi ba na obeti mi ashona kusi sing. Enunti wama oma mene nebusiafo ewu Ayara Hosampa na me assure said the law would actually deal with him mercilessly. And then the concern would be the family of this gentleman.
Okay.
If he happens to be a palm one tapper and then a breadwinner for such a family, it means that wama ebusia ashria dear pan. But that notwithstanding, Obano so nebusia for so ashria dear pan. So I think say those are some of the comments. Some of them are saying he has to be crucified. It means that the law has to deal with him very, very well.
Ebusia quite sad, yes, because Osha said the ensemble kika kwanidia na mame in question no Dickness Mary upon Ando amafo bebre efre no Adwoa Adoma wedi 59 years na ne baba Dora Adoma Kujo ono nso amafo bebre efre no Queen Star ono nso 21 years na the last person Benedicta Kujo aka Philly ono nso 19 years into 19 years 21 years and 59 years respectively na wo mo ahwere omo nkwa wo honoma ebusuafo no esie omo and utimi say ebi mu che say right now the crimes related to relationship boyfriend girlfriend ajinsem ahwefo be kaya last year mu honum KNUST a similar incident took place wo honoma a student and Edi Joanna ono nso ene ne boyfriend echema girl ne say empena twen no ntwi biem because na wo for echema they are not in support of the relationship only for this guy omu kosua ade a omo ba na che say from what we are gathering no che say waje abaya ne kwa efini nsem ya recently the lady in question Joanna ne maame eba abontin ebe church nsem ano chem say they were not in support of the relationship na che say ehun amemne mfi ne ehun yawo ne ade no enema abrantie no so timu say medrin ubehu ne obi or the acid akogu ne partner enim because relationship no wakoto so cheaty wakoto say oso on my name fa ne ho nka no a whole lot of issues are happening and you realize that the teens and the youth of today no are all messing up their lives because of a relationship wahala and ebinum che say until now no maybe there should be policies, there should be some kind of educational through and the Ministry of Gender amount for target omo den pa that they have to be on their A game because the rate at which young ladies are losing their lives and men so ebinomo recently there was a lady oma sentencing in the eastern region after say okohwie acid egu ne boyfriend ho ma abrantie ne de ne call hospital we realized that he went through a lot of health care near ade na so Ofori-Atta and abrantie no ohwe ne nkwa lady in question yehu say ono nso ya sentencing which means ono nso na brabo no abewie ya ne sa and you could realize that it is becoming a trend a pattern ekoso Ghana ha relationship people are being murdered because of relationship and people's amount for abrabon so is being cut short because they say kweku numakpato ze kweku numakpato they say chini tuma na che say 23 years see jelu number of years, because nipa 3 and no more. So you could see how the law is going to deal with this young man. And yen nipa ba kupempo 3 and the wu on sanum. And utimus and the sentence, no, any sentence ketwa. So after how many years, and I'll be back. Now I'll be bouncing back on your feet again, for us to see where life would take you to. And so people have shown concern. The Ministry of the Ministry of Children, Gender and Social Protection, they need to come into this issue. Now, yenshe baby you bet to me I solve it in some way therefore, because the rate at which the murdering in relationships no rampant, you know. So these are some of the things are popping up so far. And Amanfo Chema, what do you think will be the legal implication for this young guy?
All right, so this particular issue is one of the issues. When I first saw it and when I first reported on it, I think 2 weeks ago, it was something which was very hard to believe. Now, let us go into the specifics of the case, because that is what people want to know. The question is, the guy, now we are learning that the guy said he wanted to marry the lady, and apparently, the parents were like leading to school. And the last time I did the story, I remember clearly the lady's age was around 16 years or so. 19 years. So the parents kind of realized, said, no, this guy who is a palm wine tapper, said you, Nimfinyi obitima share abofrane sa, and also obitima share obanesa. So they believe said no, school was the ultimate way, and apparently lady no school no via she can make a better choice for herself. Na palm wine tapper there, and then him cry, na him say you may be cry or even palm wine tapping. But regardless, some people also do it. So the parents kind of were saying so and then this guy ultimately did the worst. And I don't know, but the numbers are 3. Yes, you are she Obano, ne mommy, and then the grandmother, right?
Yeah.
And so it is so pathetic. And the big question is, after that, he was arrested, and then he confessed to his crimes. And this is something which is very, very, very bad. And I think it also goes on a lot for the government of Ghana, and also the people, the stakeholders, to get involved in this, in trying to, speak to people about this. And the big question also goes to how we young men, how we take breakup, because trend and most recent news are aired. You realize that most of the guys, they go aggressively, they end it all, they kill themselves, some even and I think this is what we need to tell people. Say, as a man, you should always view yourself as a hunter. You win some, you lose some. Obaka said no, you try your best, it is not working, move on to the next. That's what I say. The lady can say yes to everyone, and I think because guys are not really emotionally intelligent like how women are, we can't take no for an answer. So ultimately, we end up burning ourselves, burning the house, killing people, taking the lives of people, and it goes on and on and on and on. I've done this job for so many years, and I've reported on so many cases. Just a single argument, the men will just, now you be secret or kaswa, but also poison, a whole lot of mess. And I think that this is something which is not really cool.
Ebusian so I rehearse we see Western North no ebusian for esie wo mo adehye miensa wo mo ewuye no abrante no so de emra no ene ne bedi no se de ese ewo nsem we so se de enua be manaka no, we just have to make sure that government can intervene properly na asem we ano etumi abrase. Now the last nsem a ye de be tuja ansa na ya sorry nsem we eso no, there is a banter koso between Queen Efiasho Asniga ene abi 16 years hit maker Miss Bell. Yenim de koso the back and forth and the brouhaha and everything. It's and say Miss Bell akwa kosun ewo United Showbiz, so say de bia so ono nko a obi atone mo na ne ade na no na Efiasho Asniga nso ti US a ono nso be responde ye na Miss Bell nso so mu na ye back and forth na numu no Miss Bell koka ensem bia Efiasho Asniga me ne wo say de akosa mai Miss Bell ewo ahemfo bi ehonom ewo voter regional sabre de otimu say hey Miss Bell na so aye she ba Miss Bell so say ono nsuro because ono so wasama Efiasho Asniga pen. Efiasho Asniga did not show up intina de aye ne de sa enebe. Now ye ba akotie nsem a Miss Bell ekan ya enam so ama efiahwa akwakosu you know wo eye voter region ahemfie yenko na yenkotie ne mbra
na sikani bre ahokyere because what did drink from all sort no what did you money na atam esinti mo kyere wo enti what is Lebanese boys be the kraman aba ifa komasi ahojo ifa baby na ofro ka koye na opesa asemasi bi ka wo no ne wo ko na oso wonko na wo akoye ko sa lai mani drew so ko fi wo oyin fe fle ni muji na kraman ni would die for $5,000 who buy so na obe front you this can be go pass say share $5,000 eya wo say wa ye bibia ma wo ye jimifo yarefo nim gu asini $5,000 into to me go fi true mu e ma e kraman mo ne woda na me say Roberts a rape me na se ma what ya na unim say ya de me ya enti de bia me ni be ma bia nya asema na odi me kasi o si ya rape no me ni we nya asema o si ya rape no because unim say the word rape na she me sister e she me bi omo to betini aka all you care apart from that incident in my house me see e bin see da be ma bia rape me da so for bia rape me da KUS asem yi esi wo bedwam e ma ya call police station ma ya call court e rape me anka the record so dey obian rape me wu na da wa no se na me see me bu sun ye e bo me credit di bo odua wo YouTube nso be sun na bo credit na ka se credit grama anko da are to free are gbe mi fi are gbe fi are lo te fi ko lo yelo ashiabulu uga say sa word rape no eya me yanti no de bia na o se rape
eya Miss Bell nsema wo de etudwa no ene ekoti na chese from all angles no efia swasniga wo chema wo ne eye kraman akwakonya eye sexual intercourse eno ene efia nso gina so chemu say Miss Bell embe kire ba bia sebe ohun se ono ede kraman eye sexual intercourse anase bibi enti eye ensam ay okosamai no ehun krata aba beto social media no so a nchemu banja say 3 million Ghana cedis nyina ewom so that is eye fiashwase nigga posti ye wo ne Instagram page until o say in the arbitration court of Togbi Azima before Tonu Nwodu and Mama Vena of Kliko Agbulochiva K2 South Municipal Voter Region say if you the one concran ha baby a voter region okoye or saying the matter of name Madam Valentina Naneje wa of Accra if you just go Accra being plaintiff name versus Madam Belinda Ikuya Amwa being defendant 8 April 2020. I say defendant is hereby invited to the above arbitration court on 18th day of April 2026 at 8:30 a.m. prompt to enable our panel elders settle the disputes between you, defendant, and the plaintiff amicably. Statement of claim. Plaintiff claims the defendant was her former friend who has alleged that I told her that I had sexual intercourse with a dog, and after having sex with the dog, the owner paid me $5,000. 2. Plaintiff affirms that if it's true that she told the defendant, as she is claiming, she's ready to pay defendant an amount of 3 million Ghana cedis to her. But if the ruling goes against her, she would also compensate me with the same amount, including the expenses incurred for the character defamation caused her. Defendant is hereby invited to the above arbitration court to defend and explain the allegations leveled against her. Your presence will facilitate the hearing and settlement of the issue forever. However, the case could be referred to the courts to reveal the truth in the matter. Should you deny the charge above and give a false statement. Enti abusia esi asem no aya abosom sem. Esa say if you as nigga we dia kopie mu wo kliko e na wo chemu say Miss Bell e dia beto no so say ono one obi akwa one krama akoda e na nipa na krama ne dia na etua no $5,000 US na se enye no credit a opese Miss Bell ba no obekire mu eda poti o ka kire ne himfa no kan ye ne ade se Miss Bell ntimi ankire mu dia ene wo gi $3 million US de fi Miss Bell ho e na afen so se Miss Bell tumi kire mu dia ndi ono a ebe ma no $3 million. And we shall not just say if you shall snake near bread and then pass or the Miss Bell quack jemu court out here and someone free. Nana no more buy and so much say Miss Bell caught no could chantra and ye or more elqua bosom for any normal coffee who no crea a war assembly munache say how matters are going in there if Yashua nenia brother a bit more say if Yashua is really a disappointment. Like how can you take this matter to the Nana for what? It's answer Miss Bell cram were reacted to a year the rate na if you nanom ho buy you know chemu say or no there have been times was ceremony if you nigga several times if you make appearance she did not show up and to what show so on so uncle baby just say if you is trying to be smart by taking the thing to the voter region because in him say one of the regions are a ban where abosum semone this kind of things are omuni one grokra a voter you can't go and play there and the end pekra te krani nogokpo enti se nogokpo bemu di ana hunze asem no ukokra beko enti bi che say fear share that the voter region just to put some kind of fear in Miss Bell said be Miss Bell will make an appearance but the beach say the kweka koni na if ya shasniga we di ncho eno ntina ode nsem no akwakọ pie mu ewo the voter region say woman ceremony Miss Bell but Miss Bell suchema from the videos and some of the statements she has made no enya dia obeko sa ceremony na woman ceremony if you snake already if you snake di kan bo Miss Bell dua dada say nananom hwan woman kunu ni ade and as it stands now it looks like Ifya has been defeated by Miss Bell.
It looks like that, but we need to actually we need to reverse back to, like 6 or 7 years ago. This is not the first time Ifya Swasnega have called upon the gods. The whole thing, Ifya Swasnega or calling on gods, I think that was the time on Ninyaba a delay.
Yeah.
You should remember, said the whole Ifya Swasnega, it came from a show. Okay, say Ifya Swasnega show na TV3. And only delay on team ebetiti. And a whole lot of issues came, delay alleging says she was the person who single-handedly made Ifya who she is because her job as an air hostess now in Shadankoyi. Now that died, and I each number worry Nikunu abrakwa I no so yedi acid kwache na insempi and also sa obodua sa abrakwa I the egunini mase otwini to of fem any ade. Then fast forward, it came to a year on a year Miss Bell in Sem, Tornado, and even up until recently, a year chairman to me.
Yeah.
And even video I will show you, I think it was one of the recent video I know of Frobi Ebon and but we need to actually look at this from another angle. So, just like what the Bible says, he who kills by the sword dies by the sword. So if at the end of the day, if Yaswa have been saying things about people, and Osha, the latest one and nearby was his case between Onene Sami Jemfi, bro alleges Sami Jemfi on name banket and Kitenda or gold board where Sami Jemfi have packed small girls there and he's cheating on the wife. And these were things which ultimately could have ended the marriage of Sami Jemfi. And Sami Jemfi actually took a friend is saying, Queen Ifya Swasnega to court. What did we see? She was mocking because right now it seems like she has a permanent residency in the USA. She's doing an Uber job and she has no, a friend is saying, a motive and a reason and has a mind of her own to even come to the country or return. So there it goes. But now, in Tokawi, from the back, Miss Bell just threw one punch and it's like everywhere scatter. Why? Because Miss Bell alleged say if Yaswa any a kramayada. Now this was basically one of the rumors that was hyped some many years ago, which we didn't have evidence. I said, Miss Bell because of how close she was with a year if Yaswa Snega, it gave some prominence to this particular matter, and now. Minyaba said they be a court no team or the Nogopo. But even talking about Nogopo, this is not the first time I could. She
has been there.
She's been there. Or video near the other. So I don't know exactly what this is. And just as we were discussing this particular afternoon before this particular show, saying say from the look of things is pointing say Minyaba Queen Ifya Swasnega, she's been defeated because she's not really matching up. And I was telling you so on TikTok where the beef kind of emanated that the numbers of Queen Ifya Swasnega is really down comparatively comparatively to the numbers of a year Miss Bell does one video over 200,000-300,000 people are watching. If you have to 10,000-20,000, Miss Bell replies for 200,000. So things are not really going on well for Queen Ifya Swasnega. And honestly, she doesn't want to have that name tag on the Kramayada, But if I was Ifya Swa, and then you can't find me home. Akwanoma, you find me because I can't be me cheating me cheating my husband, me cram. Debe ni enkan it's yeman in yeho. And someone says something. Sometimes a wise man says nothing. I just into media a bit die out. But we know a person named Miss Bob one-on-one. Very hard. And the fact that if Ifya Swasnega is fighting many battles, the same person is fighting a year. What do you call it? Hajia for real. The same person is fighting a year Richard Nyamakwi. The same person is fighting Miss Bell. The same person is fighting a lot of people. So one person fighting against a lot of demons, things are not really looking well for Enyaba. And I'm partly from the Volta region, and I can tell you, say, the case won't fly. Because the girls are really smarter than this. So that's exactly what is really going on.
Abusia na chese chema asem ne de enya de ebekọ akwakodru baby a Ifya Swasnega duabo no abosa we've seen a whole lot no gopo no so wakobi pen ye nkohu hwe and at this point what is going to come out of this particular issue? You remember more updates on how Pinaxtv and that was say munya bread share.